Can you guys hear the audio? Hey, sound check. Can you hear the audio? Try to go live. People are saying there's audio issues. You can hear road noise, but you can hear me too? Yes, we did it. We have audio. I just did one and I was talking and nobody heard anything. But yeah, hey guys, I just wanted to pop in and say happy Martin Luther King Day. Hopefully you guys had some time off, enjoyed your one day off the market. I didn't do morning market update today. I didn't do any trading in the room, and I just missed you guys. I used to pop up on here and do random Q&As. I just ran some errands, and I figured it's a nice time to sit down and have a chat and answer any of your questions that you might have. Also give you a quick announcement. Tuesday, February the 3rd, we are going to have a live webinar at 7 p.m. Eastern time. My first webinar in I don't know, I want to say 2 years plus. And you guys know that I'm back, so I'm excited for it. Got a lot to show you, some order flow tools, some precision-based entries, etc. So I'm excited to work with you guys on that. But I want to open up the floor for some questions that you might have and ask you, is the audio bad? I don't have a mic. I should have brought my mic, but I didn't. I wasn't planning on this. Rogo, no, it's not going to be on YouTube. I'm going to try to stream it in there from Zoom, but there's going to be a link. It's going to be in the next couple days. The link's going to be in the description on the morning market updates. I'll have the link ready. I don't have it ready at the moment. All right, thank you, John, guys. Appreciate it. Read back. Sound is my kind of... Why am I back trading? Jammer, that's a really good question. So I went into the music industry. I think I've shared that with you. I don't know if you know that, but I went into the music industry. I was doing production. This here, a building behind me was supposed to be a studio, a music recording studio. If we actually go for a tour inside of there, like it's literally partitioned off to be a music recording studio. But the venture didn't pan out, and I was kind of disappointed by it. And I was like, what does this mean? What's the sign? And as I connected a little more spiritually to higher power, it was like, it's not my purpose. It wasn't meant for me. I kind of went away from the market. I still traded, but more a portfolio approach, not as much day trading. And if I could be honest with you guys, I missed you a lot. So the drive to coming back to is I missed the community. I missed trading with you guys. I missed doing something that was kind of more wholesome. The music industry, to be honest, it's a crazy business. I love the music side of it, the creativity, but I really hated the business. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And it's like, you know what? Music should just be a hobby. Really, what I've trained for my whole life is TRADEPRO Academy. Do I sing? No, Rogo, I don't. I play the keyboard. I self-taught myself, and you could see like a little broken piano tattoo. Hold on, I gotta show it to you. That was kind of my whole thing was, hey, look, I learned self-taught, so I put a little broken piano wrist wrap. That's my memory of music. I play the piano, I play the guitar, and I do electronic music production. It's all on the laptop. I would make the beats, the backdrops, and then get artists to go on them. Yeah, that's going to end up being... Now we're going to repurpose this into a content studio and an event space. So in the future, we're going to have people come in and do events here for TRADEPRO Academy. We're going to do meetups together in person, live workshops, whatever you guys want. Really, at the end of the day is what it's going to become. But the goal for it is to have 3 podcast rooms and 1 big video studio room where we could have people come in here and use the space to record their content. And then we're going to hire a video editor and sound engineer, whatever else as well, to help us run it. So essentially the idea will be, no, this is in South Florida, Jammer. This is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The goal is going to be to essentially to get people to come in here and do a done-for-you service. You might be a specialist in your craft, but creating content is very burdensome on these days, and content creation output is so high. Like even my marketing lady's like, we need to do like 3 lives, not 3 lives, but 3 shorts a day. And I'm like, how? How are people putting out this much content? So the idea was to have a space that you book, you come in, you record, and then we chop it up for you with our team and then upload it for you. So it's kind of like a marketing content creation studio and service. That's what we're going to run out of there. And then it's going to double up as a TRADEPRO headquarters and my wife's business headquarters as well. So for anything, Rogo, so it's like, it could be YouTube, it could be a podcast. Essentially in there we have a soundproof room that you could, it's going to block out all the noise, and we're going to have a sound engineer and a video for like that shoots it and then also edits it. So you could record a podcast, chop it up into short form content, and really go into it on that, right? So you could repurpose. These days, the only way people can put out so much content is to repurpose it. So start out with high quality, like a podcast, chop that down into little short form content tidbits, or plan out, help the entrepreneur and content creator plan out some concepts, and we record them in person and chop them up. And it should be a fairly passive approach to the business, while we could use it for our own headquarters too. What was the question? The red days? Let me see the chat. It just kind of disappeared. Where the heck did it go? Could somebody put in something in the chat so I could click it and see the history? That comment just disappeared. I don't know how to get it again. Dang, YouTube's changed too. What's going on? Not the brightness. You have lighting on, but you don't have the comments just readily available. I think the content was, or the question was, how to deal with red days. Check out. Okay, perfect. Nah, I can't get the full thing. That's insane. I don't. Jammer, it gave me when I clicked your content, it said put user in timeout as moderator, hide user on this channel. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to see all this stuff. Anywho, my bad. I can't see all the full list of comments. It's frustrating, but I kind of said how to minimize red days, or how to deal with them. Honestly, there's 2 types of red days to me, and I kind of track that in my journal. There's a red day that I'm responsible for mentally up here, and then there's a red day where like I executed the strategy, but the result was red. So as long as I'm having the second type of days where I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm not like emotional, I'm not letting outside life sneak into my trading execution, then I'm not too hard on myself. Honestly, like the best you could do is revise your strategy if you have a lot of red days in a row. But the ones that really kind of show up for me occasionally are the ones where I make it a red day. Like I don't follow the plan. I get thrown off of my strategy. I get thrown off my mindset. And then for those days, I look at them as necessary. You got to have those days because that's growth opportunities, right? Like for example, the other day I slept like 4 hours, decided to trade. I usually don't trade if I'm not well rested, and I had a bad day. So it's like, okay, it reinforces that today's trading day starts last night, what your sleep quality was like. I've been vaping a lot lately. After 6 months of not being on any nicotine, I'm back on the stupid nicotine, and that's affected my quality of sleep. My HRV, I have this ring here that gives me like biometrics for my health. And wow, I was shocked how much nicotine just spikes all of your negative, like your heart rate variability goes up, your sleep quality goes down. It has the effect of alcohol, right? Like it puts my recovery wasn't really as good. So basically, to give you the short context of it, you got to separate the days where they're red based on normal red days where you did everything the way you should, and then the ones where you bypassed the system, you took over, you got emotional, you started doing things you weren't supposed to, and then look at that red day. And if it's a system red day, it's okay, it happens, it's a planned loss. But if it's an unplanned loss where your own bias snuck in, the best thing to do about it is to address it. I try not to let these kind of days go unnoticed. I'll journal them, I'll do some reflection, some meditation on the topic, because usually it's something that my subconscious is trying to tell me that I have to work on. And if I ignore it, it'll end up being a bigger red day down the line. So yeah, that's kind of how you deal with it. And then really at the end of the day, it's like we'll never get the money back. And trying to trade bigger or trying to get yourself out of a hole is how you lose more money. But allowing yourself an opportunity to pause, work on whatever was affecting you, and and kind of overcome that mentally, emotionally, is making you a stronger trader tomorrow. So that's kind of how I approach it. I split it up, and and really the tip there is, while you're having the bad day, you don't know what kind of day it is usually, right? Because your subconscious will trick you into thinking, I am following my plan. But at 4 p.m., you look at it, you're like, wait a minute, I wasn't really following my plan. It's a great question. Let me know if you guys have any more. I'm not seeing any chats pop up. Also, let me know if that was helpful. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. To end last year, I had kind of more red days than usual. Any tips on building the story behind the market? Yeah, I'd love to answer that one. Then trader versus gambler differences, that's key too. When the gambler shows up, the results are going to be very predictable, right? When the trader shows up, the thing about trader and gambler, if you only follow the trade results, you don't know which one showed up. The thing is, when the proper trader shows up and you lose, you haven't captured the information that led to that loss, the things you did good. You're only left with the wrong stuff, right? The final score. So yeah, just give yourself credit for what you're doing, and keep the gambler away. This is not a place to gamble. There's definitely more fun ways to gamble. It's a little guitar casino down the street. We could go there and gamble. How to tell the story. Okay, so this is key. So my process for telling the story is, there's many different ways to tell a story, right? Based on just information. One way is to look for auction market theory and volume profile and draw levels of auctions where there's balances and imbalances. It works great. I love that way too. But for me, the most important thing is looking at the last 36 hours. So let's say the day's opening up today at 9:30 in the morning. I like to tell the story of the prior US day. So let's say today was a day where the market, tomorrow morning, let's say you're starting tomorrow morning. I like to look at the prior day before it. Normally it would be today, but today was a holiday, so I want to see Friday. So I want to see one day before it, and I like to mark off the high, the low, the open, and the close. Then I want to see the story overnight. And if you guys see my morning market updates, I literally call it the story. That's why I think this is such a great question. You're focused on finding the right info. Is like, I say, here's the story of the US session yesterday. If the open is here and then the high and the low are really wide apart, but then it closes at the open, the story is not much happened, right? We huffed and we puffed, we wiped out liquidity, but we closed right around where we opened. So, hey, Ulrich, what's going on, brother? Good to see you here. So yeah, the story is based on the prior US day and what happens overnight. And then the rest of the day should be captured within that. I didn't expect you making a stream. Ulrich, I always pop up just randomly. I just pop up randomly to say hello. Jammer, I didn't really have a red year, to be honest. I didn't have a full red year, but I had a bad December. And like a mid-November. And I've been trading since like May of last year. But then I came back to the trading room. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't traded with the community in a long time. That was an adjustment to me, is remembering the pressure of having to perform while talking about it as well. So I had to reacclimatize to that, because that's a hard balance. And if I could keep it 100% honest with you, I even question, do I even want to do this? Do I want to come back to an environment like this where I have to take this pressure on? I can quietly just trade in the bedroom by myself, you know? But what I miss is this, the interaction with you guys. It fulfills me more than anything. This is what I missed the most when I came to TRADEPRO. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to do it. And then I started to acclimatize. I'm having a good start to the year, good January. As December ended, I started picking it up. But yeah, rough December start. And then like late November, some of my tendencies were sneaking up in there. And the things were like I'm fully open and transparent with you guys. The things that gave me pressure is like, all right, I'm coming in this webinar to share and I'm losing. So there's pressure to make back the loss before the end of the day so I could show how I rebounded. But forgetting that what made TRADEPRO successful in the beginning thing is every trade is a new opportunity. You got to cleanse the past emotion. So that's kind of what was holding me back November and December. And I finally adjusted. It's a tough balance to do a trading room and trade at the same time. Can we get another promo of 6 months for $300? That's crazy. When did that happen? That's a crazy one. I don't know, but I have something for you on the webinar on February 3rd. Started trading with you June 25, and I finally started seeing profits and good stats. Ulrich, bro, I don't know if you're going to believe me when I tell you this, but our entire Trade Pro Academy business is the number one goal. It is a business. Obviously, it's an enterprise, right? But the number one goal is successful traders. If it was making all the money in the world, but people weren't succeeding, I wouldn't do it. I'd hate that business. So, honestly, bro, I'm very, very happy for you and send you blessings. And we're going to continue that journey this year. That really warms my heart. And yeah, I love to hear that. And I know Victorio's done a lot of good things, right? Like he's implemented a very strategy-focused system. He's kind of taken volume profile and systemized it. And Victoria's done a lot of good things. And so me coming back on YouTube, I'm not like taking everything over and doing it a new way. I'm going to just blend everything. Oh, I see how the comments come up. That's cool. YouTube changes. Maybe, hey, you guys and maybe gals. There's probably some gals there in our community. Safe space for all. We love you all. OTM, what's up, brother? How you doing? Do you have both daily loss limit and daily profit targets so we don't overtrade? Jammer, I used to have like set daily targets. I found that when I was close to hitting them, I would push myself to do more. And so I removed the target because the daily target is largely dependent on the market condition, right? And it's not going to hurt you if you have a crazy runaway profitable day. No one's going to complain if they make 10 times more than they planned, right? But it would set you back if you lost 10 times more than planned. So what I have is a daily drawdown, but I have an uncapped upside depending on market condition. And the cool thing is that it's risk focused, but the great thing is you get a chance to start trusting yourself to take advantage of the upside. Some days there's really good, strong runs to the upside that I underperformed. I'm like, I can't believe this is all I made on these days. There's other days where it barely moves, range bound, and I caught the range a few times. I'm like, I can't believe I did so good on these kind of days. So it's really what the market's going to give you and how peak performance you're showing up at mindset-wise. So for that, I kind of have drawdowns limits, but not upside. 3 consecutive losses. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Or like if I do 3 losses, I'm out, or my P&L drawdown, which is a dollar amount. Ash says, been listening to the podcast for months, started with episode 1 and up to the end of 2024. Thank you for all the amazing free content. Hey, that's awesome to hear. You experienced the journey then, right? From episode 1 to where it was. I'm sure you could see the evolution of me as a podcaster, the content in my life as well. So thank you for being part of that journey, and I'm happy you love it. Podcast will never stop. This year is just taking a little more turn to focus on the tangibles as well. Not just psychology, but more strategy, and I'm marrying the two because, how do I say this? Without a good strategy, psychology may not be the issue, and a good approach. It was really cool to relive COVID with you, right? Wow, COVID was crazy. COVID changed my life so much. I had my first son. I didn't have it. My wife did. God, when I saw my wife giving birth, I'm like, I'm not a strong enough human to be a woman and to do that. So kudos to her. But yeah, we had our son in August of COVID. I had a DVT, deep vein thrombosis, like a medical condition that was very close to being disastrous. But then we got locked at home, and I started having really negative habits, smoking and drinking, and then the DVT popped up. It's not a coincidence. And COVID was a blessing in a way that we got to lock in and work, but it also kind of sent me on a spiral, man. It really did. And I can honestly say I'm finally back fully. It took 6 years, and part of the absence was me working through stuff, trying to work through stuff rather than taking like a month break. They didn't want to disappear. And not taking a month break during COVID ended up being a 2.5-year absence in 2022. What's a leading indicator in your opinion? Volume profile or gamma? Jammer, you know what? I just shot a crazy YouTube video just now, and I just wanted to go for a drive because I've been inside all day. But a video on MBO, market by order. So I explain how I use it, why it's important to me, and then how to set it up on Sierra charts. I would say if you're looking, like, let me just reread the question really quick. Leading indicator in your opinion, volume profile, gamma. Okay, look, the most important information that we're looking for isn't available yet. And that's the premise of trading, right? That's never going to change. Like, if there was one piece of information we had that was the solution to everything, then the whole validity of the market falls apart, right? Because if anyone knew where it was going to go, we'd get enough money to get it there. So to me, though, MBO is important because when you see a bid and an offer, when you look at the limits, and you see 500, for example, quantity size, being able to see of that 500 is one trader, 400 of the lots, has been very helpful. And those MBO levels pre-market and in the first 20 to 30 minutes of the open end up being the future levels of the day. And that was secret sauce that I just started using during COVID. And then now that I'm back, I'm leaning a lot more on. So yeah, market by order. It's called MBO. Super, super, super saucy. And I have some proprietary stuff there that I can't divulge of how I've kind of blended it as a benefit. But what you're looking for is where are the big orders. I'm looking for big size orders that are hidden in the limits. I mark that level, and then I'm looking for how they change during the market to give me some future look as to where the market could go. But nothing replaces the unknown, right? Because that's a future level up here or down here. But right now, the real-time auction, we're never going to have all the information. It's always going to feel like we're going in without all the information. And that's the whole point of trading. Oh, Jay, I'm just chilling, bro. I went for a little drive to pick up the mail at the office. And then I was like, you know what? I want to talk to you guys. I missed you. I didn't do a morning market update. I'm like, I'm going to go live. We don't need a reason. Is MBO only for DOM ladder or also on footprint? I think you could show it on your footprint chart. I really do, but try it. Go to customize. It might only be on the DOM. I don't know. Fair and full disclosure, I'm not really 100% sure, but I do know that on the DOM as a column, I have it as one column of MBO limits on the offer side up and limits on the bid side down. It's my rightermost column. I have a YouTube video coming on that this Sunday, so very timely. Ulrich, how do you think will day trading change by AI? Do you think there will be some big changes coming, or do you think that with being able to read the market and order flow, you'll always have an edge? I guess the question is, do you think what we actually have right now is intelligence? Or do you think it's a machine learned dribble that comes out? Because at first I was fascinated by AI, and the more I use it, the more I realize it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb, right? And it's predictable and dumb and not actually intelligent, but it's really good at processing. Its processing potential is insane. That's the benefit of it. For repetitive tasks, it's great, but is it actually smart? So that's the question. If it actually becomes artificially intelligent and thinks by itself, then I think the whole world's in trouble, to be honest with you. But in terms of AI impacting trade, it's going to make large trades easier to do with AI. But we've had AI in trading a long time with the kind of order types we have that are algorithmic, right? Icebergs, all the different algorithmic traders. So I think AI helps execution for large spec traders, but I think the edge is the human emotion. So I think unless it becomes transient, or what was the word again? Not transient. When the singularity happens, when it can actually think and understand emotion, I think we lose the edge. But remember, what you're trading is other traders' emotion, quantified. So as long as it doesn't have emotion, we have an edge. Far down the road, I don't know. But at the moment, it's not even close to taking away our edge with order flow, especially because we're not profiting on how smart we are, we're profiting on how other people's orders impact the auction. So as long as that's a skill, it's going to be here for a long time. I'm not worried. Unless you get smart, then I'm really worried and out of a job, and we all are. What are your thoughts on Bookmap? I love Bookmap. I was one of the first people that bought a lifetime license for $2,000. I used it a lot, and I've replicated a lot of the functionality now in Sierra Charts, and I don't use it. I remember CME had changed the definition of data connections. So I think now you need 2 different data connections, 1 connection per source. I could be wrong on this. The truth is I haven't revisited in a long time. But I loved it. And then I replicated a lot of functionality in Sierra and didn't miss a lot of the tools. So I still have the license. I don't use it on a daily basis, but it's a great tool. It's very powerful in the way you customize it. Yeah, and I pay professional data fees because I trade a corporate account. You got to pay the pro fees, which is $150 a month per exchange. So $150 for the CME. There's no $25 or $40 bundle, whatever it is. It's $150 for CME, $150 for NYMEX, $150 for COMEX. You know, every market you trade, you got to pay for data fees at $150 a pop. What are your thoughts on Bookmap? On ATAS, I know the platform, able to let me show the limited orders on the right-hand side, and there I have MBO set up. How's that look, Ulrich? Have you found that like MBO is giving you some edge or helpfulness in your strategy approach? And did you trade it before I had kind of brought it into the trading room? Just curious. Jammer, meeting planned for 2026 Florida? Not yet, but it is. Okay, it's planned, but there's no details. I can't tell you a date. I can't tell you what it'll be about, but I can tell you it'll more than likely be in the building right there behind me. This almost looks like a green screen. It's so beautiful. Hold on a sec. Let me take this in. Wow. It looks like a green screen. And Florida's beautiful. I love it out here. But yeah, if we're going to have one, it'll be in Florida. I was thinking late this year, like October, November, but it really depends. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I guess I should stop saying that because I'm always honest. Like TradePro as a business is not doing good. It's like, do I tell you this part or no? I'll tell you. Should I tell you? Do you want some inside scoop? All right, I'll tell you, Steve. I've come out of pocket to run it multiple times, meaning I've had to put personal money into it to sustain it over the last little bit. And when I was coming, Disney's 3-hour drive from me, so pretty close. We go there quite a bit. I'm a season pass holder. When I was coming back to it, I've never before told this anyone, so you got me on a live, you asked me, I have to answer. When I was coming back to it, the part that got me thinking about it is in music, first of all, I was having a very rough run. I lost $250K in the music business on one play, and it's totally stupid fault of mine. But at the same time that was happening, TradePro was at the point where like we had very successful members in TradePro, but the marketing aspect of it, for whatever reason, wasn't sustained. So I guess I was gone. And the decision was, do I close this down? Like, I'm going to be flat out with you guys 100%. And I thought about closing it down, right? To the point, I'm talking to the accountants. We're like, okay, what's the exit strategy? And the more that I thought about it, the more sad it made me. And I had a moment where, like, I sat in my office looking at Sierra charts, still trading. I actually cried about it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I cried. When it hit me that, like, this is going to shut down, I cried. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I just can't. This is who I am. You know what I mean? So why stop it? And why stop this to go into doing something that's just costing me money and frustrating the living crap out of me? And, like, coming home at 7 a.m. from the studio, my kids are waking up an hour later. And I'm like, this is who I am. I love doing this. I miss you guys so much. So I came out of pocket multiple times to sustain it. And the reason I'm back on it fully, because I did have the consideration after music. I'm like, what if I just trade by myself, right? I just perform, do my thing. it just, I don't know. It didn't have the same, like, I miss you guys. I'm a social person. Me trading by myself is what led to the start of the trading room. I was like, I actually hate this. Started drinking Jack Daniels at 9 in the morning. I'm not lying to you guys. It got dark, and I'm like, this is a great job, but I miss the community. I miss like the connection with humans. So you could tell I'm kind of like a social person. But yeah, I've never told you this at all. But yeah, TradePro wasn't doing good. Decision was come back and do this and give it another shot or shut it down. And when I started going through the motion of considering to shut it down, I cried. I got really sad about it, and I'm like, no, I can't. And it put everything else in motion. And now looking back at it, I can't believe like the shutdown was even an option. You know what I mean? It woke me up. Maybe life is like trading. As long as the system is running, don't change anything. Oh my gosh, Ulrich, where were you a year ago, bro? If you want to change something, getting to the music business, you have to be certain that the outcomes will change too. Well, Ulrich, I know, bro. I know. I know. Trust me, I know. The plan was like, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to do it on the side, have some fun. If it monetizes, it monetizes. But I'm an extremist, bro. This is why I have this beard. This beard is not for nothing. I'm an extremist. Like when I love something, I go all in. And I went all in on the wrong thing. And at the same time I was going in on the wrong thing, I let you guys down. And for that, I'm sorry. I just disappeared on a whim. You know what I mean? Disgusting behavior. Ash, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for, being with me during this moment. Because I never told anyone that. Like, everyone is on here sharing their success and stuff. But that's the truth. The truth is it came really close. And I'll never, ever take it for granted again. Because the other truth is in 2018, it almost shut down too. I actually closed it. And I was like, screw this. Traded by myself for a few months. And again, I was pulled back because I miss the interaction with the people, and like I know what happens out here in the space, and like I'm not saying I'm the savior, but at least we want this for you. Trust me, I want you to succeed more than anything in the world. This is what drives me to do this business, nothing else. So much so that if you ask any of the people on our team, all I care about is how many people are succeeding. If we're making crazy money and like doing these high pitched or high pressure sales calls for 20K, we never do that crap. But like at the end of the day, it's like if it's making $50 million a year at TradePro Academy and we don't have one person successful, shut that crap down. It ain't doing nothing. It's a waste of money and energy. But yeah, Ulrich, I know, bro. In hindsight, that advice is golden. And what you said right there, as long as the system's running, don't change anything. And I changed it at the worst time. And part of the reason I didn't try comedy is my timing sucks, and my jokes suck. But I think it's timing. Appreciate you, Ash. Raw honesty is what I guarantee you every time. Appreciate your training. Victoria's made me money with those daily pre-market analysis. I missed those. Steve, maybe we get him back on. Thank you, OTM. Appreciate it. Jammer, I commit here to you on this day, Martin Luther King Day 2026 at 6 p.m. that I'll never shut this down. Oh yeah, I remember you telling that story, Ulrich. I'm happy that crypto didn't. That crypto, you weren't a casualty to crypto. I love it, Ulrich. Yeah, that's what you're about. That's what we're about, honestly. Like it's what to me the biggest satisfaction is when I have good days, no matter how much I'm up. When one of you guys like, oh, this worked, I saw the light, thank you, I've like invested money before and it hasn't worked out, and just for a small monthly fee, like it's working here, I get so happy. It's like it's kind of like you're doing God's purpose for me. And I know TradePro became bigger than me, and I guess at some level I couldn't handle it with the DVT, which is a pretty serious medical condition, with my son being born, with COVID, the world shutting down. I remember I looked at Victorio and I'm like, bro, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Back to regular programming. At the top of our momentum, things were going so good. Everyone was like doing well. We had workshops. We just concluded a workshop And I'm like, this ain't the end, bro. I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks. And never saw that office again. The lease came up. I didn't renew it. Paid it for 9 months for nothing. It was a beautiful office. Matthias, appreciate it for the market preps. I'm gonna keep that going. I'm gonna add more value to the market preps and then just keep doing it. I'll be there for you every day, I promise you. Where's Fatty? Fatty's actually coming. I don't know where the heck he's going. He's going to whole other places first, but then he's coming to Florida. So him and I are gonna do some content together with you, including these updates. Like, we're gonna go live together. He'll be in this seat right here. Beautiful little curly hair. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna pick him up. Give me a prank. Tell me how to prank him somehow. Something funny, but not like inappropriate. Fatty deserves a good old prank. I love him. I love Fatty. I love Victoria. I love the whole team. Fatty's such a good dude. But yeah, he's gonna be here February, I think. So him and I will pop up and do some stuff live together. Fatty has this like ability to just take something complex sounding and to just like with one sentence just put everything in order. He's like, you know when you go in Excel and you hit sort by and you sort the data by column and it all falls in place, you're like, oh, this is usable now, perfect. That's Fatty. He's like an auto sort of information. He's there's not many people I would say are built to do this. I don't even know if I was built to be a trader because I had to work so hard to get to a good place. Fatty is built for it. But I don't know. Jury's out on me. I don't really know. If I had to reflect on my back to life and I didn't do it, what would I do? Like, that's the question, right? If you go and take a different path, will you end up back to it? I guess I did, going to music and coming back, but man, my journey in music was so bad, guys. I don't even listen to music anymore. I listen to just podcasts. Like, music just physically makes me sick. Like I said, like, honestly, guys, I lost $250,000 there. That building, see that building right there? 250K, quarter ticket USD. Not this. This is still, there's no loss. The land's worth stuff, the building's worth stuff. But inside, what happened? Where did I find Vic and Fady? You guys are gonna love. You want the story? You want the real story? The Robbins World Trading Cup. I'm gonna look into that. That's cool. I love a good competition. You guys want to hear the story of Vic and Fady? Okay, so Vic's dad. I met Vic through his dad. So I was at Starbucks and this guy. I was trading at the time. I was working for Scotiabank and I was attending different events, and like I basically was a field rep for the investing side. So I went from the trading desk to having an opportunity to get promoted to the actual like higher up trading desk where there is some discretion, but I was in the order execution only trading desk, and I found out you couldn't trade when you get there. So I'm like, that's not for me. So I went into sales and I was on the road going to branches supporting the online investing platform. So I was in the investing realm, but sales. I was still a licensed trader, but I wasn't using the license. I wasn't taking trading calls anymore. But I did. Like, you look it up. The cool thing is once you get licensed, it stays part of history forever. I was licensed for 5 years as an equity trader for Scotia Capital. So anyways, I'm doing the sales role. I'm at Starbucks. I'm about to set up for my day to check emails and then do some trading because I was still trading actively on that day. You know, that's one of the jobs being on the road. It's great because you get some time yourself. So I'm parking. I bump into this guy, spills coffee on my freaking shoes right when I had like a big appointment with a client. So I'm like, damn it. Ended up being Victorio's dad. Anyways, he's like, he looked at me, gave me a weird look. I gave him a weird look. Then he comes to me, he's like, what are you doing? He's a Bulgarian. I'm like, bro, I'm trading. And now I have to go get new shoes too. So I talked to him. We gotta get to know each other really well. He's a really cool guy, Vicky's dad. And one day he calls me, he goes, George, I need help with my son. And I'm like, what's going on, bro? What's going on with your son? He's like, he keeps fighting in school and he's just going down the wrong path. I'm like, and I get it, you know, you're young. So we set up a meeting at Starbucks and Vicky and his dad show up at the Starbucks. And I'll never forget this. Victorio has a black eye. He shows up, he's like, oh, he barely see out of it. And I was like, oh man, like, His dad was right. I'm like, how bad could it be? But yeah, bro showed up with a black eye, so it wasn't just a problem in the past; it's a current problem. And then I was like, what happened to the other guy, Victorio? And he's like, he mumbled some stuff. But anyways, fast forward to the story, we started talking about options. He started writing options. He was doing some covered call strategies, and he got into trading. Then I hired him on to TradePro to be one. He was the second hire for TradePro after Donna. And then we got an office together. I started putting him on content creation, and yeah, Vicky just grew to be an amazing trader. Like, he did a lot of work outside of TradePro, but he also learned a lot of stuff in TradePro. I'm really proud of him. He's gone on to do some great things and developed his own system, and took the tools that were presented to him and started finding out ways to piece it together for himself and made it his own. So yeah, that's Victoria. Fatty was a member in our webinar, and then one day he's like, I want to meet you guys. I'm in Toronto too. And he showed up with gifts, like he's Egyptian, and Habibi, like I love, I love Arabic people, and like, I love a lot of different cultures. I love everyone, but Arabic people and Eastern Europeans, we get along. So naturally, I saw him, like, I like this kid. He had a little curly hair. He's like, you know what I think you guys should do? That was his first combo we had. I'm like, tell me, Fatty, I don't know. And then, yeah, she gave me a earful of how we can make TradePro better. I'm like, I like this guy. And he grew as a good trader too. We put him on the platform, put him on as moderator, and we never looked back. So yeah, that's the story, the Victorio story. From black eye to a trading guy, it's Vicky. Couple more questions, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Did you like the story? Like, imagine somebody saying, my son needs a little bit of like a meeting of guidance, and you're like, whatever, like, how bad it could be? He's probably a good kid, and he shows up with a black eye. It's like, yeah, Vic is a beauty in person. He's such a good dude. He's got a really good energy. Remember, we did a workshop in person, and we went to the bar and we had some drinks, and one of our members like kissed him on the cheek. He's like, I love you, Victorio. Mwah. And we're all like, oh, what's Vicky gonna do? He's like, yeah. He keeps drinking. It was so funny. The last workshop we did, the second last night of it was a 5-day workshop from 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. like jam-packed. Like, you guys already know, if I'm gonna do a workshop, it ain't gonna be like a lack of value. What we heard back was, this is way too much. I love it, but like, and I'm like, guys, it's a boot camp. They didn't call it a workshop. This is a boot camp. Like, we're here to work. So I put people through the paces. The second last night of the boot camp, the Raptors won the championship, and everyone was like, oh, like, everyone started showing up late. I was there on time. I was there half an hour early, just looking at everyone's faces. I'm like, I know who stayed up late last night. I'm like, I was one of them. But the event was held like 10 minutes down the road from where the championship happened, and Liberty Village in Toronto is like a very traffic dense area. People take the train and they stop, and like, it's a party area. So anyways, it was cool. So yeah, people love Victoria so much, you got a kiss on the cheek. I haven't got one. Open to it if you do it gently and by surprise, but I'm not planning it. I'm not planning on it. You change lives with TPA. Jammer, bro, that's like, pardon me if I'm calling you bro and you're not a bro, but that's the goal. That's honestly the goal, is like being able to be in a community with somebody and then see them being able to hunt on their own. It was always the goal, is like, to be able to learn a skill that you could do on your own for life is like the biggest gift you could receive from anyone. And the reason I'm able to give that gift to people is because I get it from God. Like, a lot of stuff, a channel, higher power. If you're not religious, I'm not forcing you to be. I'm not looking for trouble, but a lot of my business moves and what I do outside of music comes from up there, and music up there didn't support me. Started learning trading off your YouTube, and I was just wondering what your mindset was like the very start, if you don't mind. Yes, I'll answer that one. Maybe this year you get a kiss from me, George. Whoa, Ulrich, don't threaten me with a good time. Oh my gosh, getting over a cold. I'll wrap this up soon because I've just been in our parking lot for a long time. But I don't care. Who cares? What, are they going to kick me out? What was my mindset? How do I say this to you? Like, it's kind of dark. my coming up was a little dark. Not dark, but my parents just immigrated to Canada from Bulgaria. Right, I moved to Canada when I was 7 years old. My dad couldn't find a job. He's Bulgarian. The only thing that offered to him was credit card fraud. He didn't want to do that for himself and his family. He was a net computer engineer at a master's level in Bulgaria, and he was doing odds and ends jobs to survive. So I kind of grew up in that, and I kind of grew up with the mindset that I'm going to do whatever it takes to not be in this situation in my life, and hopefully I can do it quick enough to help my parents too. So really from the upbringing, money was important to me. You know, people say money doesn't buy you happiness. How happy are you going to be if you can't pay your rent? You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest here. Yes, it doesn't buy you happiness. It's a good down payment. So my mindset was a lot of the pressure for me in starting to trade wasn't learning how to accept risk. It was learning how to not be reckless with it. Because like another thing I haven't told people, like I was in a neighborhood that was like full of poverty. You know what I mean? It was a lot of immigrants who meant well but didn't have a lot of money. So you could imagine as a child, back then too, we didn't have social media. We would go out at like 9 a.m. and we wouldn't come back till like midnight until your parents came looking for you. Remember, like back then they had ads. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Think about that. Why do you need that ad? Because our parents weren't as active with us as parents are these days. So I was out on the street getting in trouble, doing dumb stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'll do anything to make money. Even if I enjoy life for 10 years with a good amount of money, it's better than being broke for 50. And that was my mindset. So when coming into trading, it wasn't that I wasn't willing to accept risk. I was being reckless with risk. Because number one, I didn't expect to live too long. And number two, it was like, I want to live a happy, short life. Anywho, that's why what I struggled with is unique in that I was over risking. I was willing to take the ultimate risk, so why not do it in trading? And that was my mindset coming in. It took me 3 years to get over that, to find out the real root cause is me over risking, not under risking, because it disguised itself in different things. But I would have a nice streak, and then I would just start putting big money on it, and then lose the account and have to restart again. So that was a challenge for me. A lot of mainstream traders alive in Florida. Have you met any big names? No. Nah. Since I'm being honest, this whole music industry thing and my loss in it was partially in me believing in people too quickly. I kind of have this thing where I used to think it's a strength, but I assume the best in people when I meet them, and I let them prove me wrong, versus having to like let them prove themselves right, which is how many people do it. And like, I'll be honest with you guys, I was very friendly and trusting to people, and it didn't work. It worked really bad for me. And when you look at it in hindsight, it was all my fault. I don't blame anyone but me. And so, to be honest with you, the question, I guess, was, have I met anyone? I haven't yet. I'm not putting myself out there. I have no friends in Florida other than people I play hockey with. I just keep to myself. I go on YouTube. I love you guys. I say my love for you. And I love meeting you guys, part of our community, and just my kids and family. But I don't go out there and network. I'm not partying. I don't go to Miami. I actually hate that place. If I never step foot in Miami again, I'll be happy. Seva, you'll get to know me better for sure. I'm back. And sadness and all that stuff aside that I share with you openly, it's a happy message. I'm so happy to be back, and I love this, and I love you guys. Hope you could tell. You just stick to ES all the time. I used to trade ES and oil and NASDAQ. NASDAQ is where I had a $50,000 losing day. Oh my God. I haven't really fully recovered from that. Be honest with you, it's a little PTSD on NASDAQ. So yeah, I stick to ES mainly now. I want to get good at one market before I add another one in my expansion market for this year, 2026, around March. If I keep having consistent success and feel like I'm back fully to my previous form and better than my previous form, because I'm like, I don't want to come back to what I left at during COVID. I want to come back to where I would have been if I hadn't left. So once I hit that, I'm going to reintroduce oil, the CL contract, into my trading. And then, yeah. Miami is a godless place. Ulrich, all I could say to that is amen. It's not the place I want to be at. Like, I have friends down there. Like, I have really high profile, what I would call friends from Canada that kind of came over here that are like involved with really big artists. One that's like international, like everyone knows this artist. I go to see him in Miami and I'm like, bro, I regret every single time I come to see you. Why don't you meet me? Why don't you meet me a little closer this way? I love the vibes in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, anything north of like Miami is dope. I'm not shitting on Miami. It's a cool city, but too fake and too like, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do this in Miami. I'd be like, I'd hide my watch. I'd have the strap on me. It's Florida. You can have the strap. I dislike NQ so much during the cast session. I know OTM. I don't know what it is, but I struggle with NQ. I guess it's because if you're down, you could see very quickly how you could make it up. And I think that like chasing tendency that like I could get back to break even because I know there's opportunities, actually a bad thing. And I think it pulls me in. It sucked me in. On that one day, I kid you guys not, I lost $50,000 US on one day. Trading 30 lots on NASDAQ. Not the mini, not the micro, the mini. It's oh, you're saying it does well. Yeah. I mean, look, maybe. I'm not saying I'll never trade it, but my expansion product's going to be oil. I want to get ES. ES is down now. I got it down pat. Everything's good. I wouldn't do a course and a webinar on it if I didn't feel comfortable with it, right? I'm good on ES. I'm back. It was easy to get back to ES. I want to add oil as my next expansion one because oil complements it well and it's very structural. It's like where NASDAQ is a little more wild, oil is like a very structured, predictable beast. Highly concentrated of pro traders. Oh, OTM, I love to hear that. I switched to ES after finding TPA and I've been doing well since. Hey man, you found your market. You know what I mean? There's some people who couldn't picture trading anything but NASDAQ, but it's a specific type of person. Usually when you see a NASDAQ trader, with a trader who NASDAQ was made for, you're like, that guy right there, that's a NASDAQ trader. And you look at him and you're like, wow. Oh my gosh. I got over a cold a month ago. I'm still coughing. All right, a few more minutes. I'm going to get off and let you guys enjoy your evening too. Can't walk away from a loss. Adding a further instrument if the one pays well. Why not scaling the one instrument? Yeah, Jammer, you know, it was kind of like almost 90% of what I had in the trading account, but my full portfolio and net worth isn't in a day trading account, right? I put whatever I need, and I take into account how much margin could increase for certain events, and then I leave that in there, and I put the rest in a long-term portfolio. So, yeah, it didn't change my life, but I'll never forget that day. When adding a further instrument, oh, I already read that. It's a good question, Ulrich. Why not scale that one higher? I guess the thing about oil is, put it this way, when you're trading just one instrument, it's good, but when you trade it long enough, like ES, I kind of know days where I'm going to have a not so good day, right? And so what options do I have is to be like, man, I'm not going to trade. But the thing is, with the trading room, I got to be there. And if I'm there, I'm going to trade. So not trading on a day that I'm supposed to not trade on doesn't ever happen. Right? You could be like, yeah, follow your discipline. But it's kind of like going to South Miami, going to a place late at night and saying, I'm not going to spend money here tonight. Why are you here? Right? So on those days, and I think like oil pairs well with the ES. On the days that it's quiet, oil has some consistent gains to be had. It is kind of dangerous to go to flip markets because you could have bad days on one market when you should have traded the other. So oil to me is an expansion product because I understand it and it's not short term for me. Like the strategy for oil is different than ES. It's not the same strategy. Whereas the strategy for me on NQ would probably be pretty similar to ES. It's an equity product. But oil, it's more take a larger stop, more runners, more price structure, and it complements the ES. The thing I have to build is my focus and attention for two instruments. I'm not close. I need a couple months. I used to trade gold as well, OTM. Scotia Capital, the firm that I was part of, made it famously on the news for gold price manipulation, and it was the desk I was going to join, the Futures Plaza Group. I wouldn't have been part of it because it was so much higher than that. But yeah, I traded gold. I liked it, but it was too much. I'm like, I got to focus on one market. It was too much dividing my attention. As somebody whose mind wanders a lot, it's dangerous to do too many markets. Yeah, exactly. Or like if the strategy is different, then it makes sense, right? You're not gonna. They're complementary markets, but it's not the same. Guys, we started when the sun was out. We're about to end when the sun is down. This is what I'm talking about. This here is how TradePro does. Hop in for a live stream. I'm here for an hour. I didn't even notice it. There's like little mosquitoes trying to eat me. That's it for today. How about that? Let's call it. I really appreciate you guys for taking part. I love you all so much. We'll be back tomorrow, Monday. Not Monday. What am I talking about? Tuesday. We'll be back. Whoops, that's the emergency button. Can't turn on the light because the car's off. If I turn it on, it's going to connect the Bluetooth, cut my mic off. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. for the morning market update. And Steve, you're most welcome. Ulrich, thank you for the awesome discussion. Everyone, thank you for watching and just being part of our community. And I'll end it off saying this. We're back tomorrow to the morning market update in the trading room, February 3rd at 7 p.m. There's going to be a webinar. I'll share the link with you in the next couple sessions. I hope to have it today, but our web team didn't have it ready. And I'll tell you guys this. I shared a lot of data that I haven't ever with people, primarily with, the TradePro situation and me and the music business stuff. I got vulnerable because I love you guys, and I think this is the best community in the world. And when I had something missing in my soul, it was the community aspect, and that's each and every one of you. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being with me. Maybe I'll delete this because I shared a lot. You guys think I shared something that I shouldn't leave online? Not really, right? Like, what the heck? There's just a guy that took a loss, and now he's trying to come back and loves his people. Like, appreciate it, Hector. Should we stream until... Oh, we should stream until the sunrise. Imagine being here at 3 in the morning. Maybe we'll see the guy whose shopping cart that is pop back up. We can ask him why he's here. Hey, bro. All right, take care, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And I'll pop up a little bit more to these Q&As. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. And on the YouTube channel, I got a great video, Market by Order, coming out Sunday. And I'm going to keep doing more videos every week until the end of time. Till the end of my time. I'm here for you forever. I'm back, never leaving you. And I love you all so much. I really do. And I love what we do. Take care. Goodbye, and see you tomorrow morning. Thank you, OTM. Thank you to everyone. Just locking in the moment. It's a nice moment. I appreciated it, and I enjoyed it with you. Take care. Bye, guys.